What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another issue of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Green Arrow issue number 31. This is the final issue of this series, the last one by Chris Condon and Montos, and that makes me very sad because I was really digging the hell out of what Chris Condon and Montos were doing with this series. That actually might have been my favorite ongoing that we had at DC this past year in terms of some of the strong storytelling with the Freshwater Killer stuff and the Crimson Archer stuff. I was really liking this. This got Ollie back to the street level stuff that I love about Green Arrow, and there's some real like human emotional connections going on with it. It's been really fascinating stuff to kind of read about, and it's been like it really captures the voice of Green Arrow quite well. There's some morally gray areas with different characters. There's some really heavy stuff and dealing with themes of like Roy kind of moving on from his like past drug addiction problems. It tackled a lot of like serious issues and crafted some interesting storylines within just the two arcs that we had with it, but it was really freaking good, and it just makes me sad that this book didn't do well enough to kind of continue onward. But I do think this is a nice solid final issue by Chris Condon, and it recontextualizes some of the stuff that since we kind of been following it from the beginning, like goes back to it. So earlier on in the Freshwater Killer storyline, Ollie met this cop named Lena who kind of became a bit of an ally of sorts to him too. I'm like, they're not going to flirt or anything like that. He's with Dinah. But then to come to find out by the end of this thing, okay, it's good that really didn't happen in this thing, because we come to find out that when Lena was a kid, so I guess she's a very young cop. Sometimes with the art on DC Comics, you can't really tell people's ages, but she's definitely a more like younger like detective of sorts, that when she was a girl, like a little girl or whatever, not little, like we'll just say like preteen or something like that, basically her mom had died, and she was being raised by her father, who was a little bit drunk, and he went on tirades and stuff, snapping at her at certain instances in that. So she would go to her roof to kind of find some sort of comfort, and Ollie was there in his more youthful days as the Green Arrow to provide that comfort. Like, he was kind of the helping hand she needed. We got to see like the really compassionate like side between the two of them. They kind of have this opening up revelation where she tells him the truth about how the time they met beforehand at the beginning of this arc of like, you know, the Chris Condon run wasn't really the first time they met. And that was actually a really fascinating like a revelation, I should say, between the two of them, and like the comfort that he provides to her, the fact that he gave her this flashlight to kind of help light her way because her dad, like, she was afraid of the dark and she took her dad's and he snapped at her, but she kind of used it to help find her way in a sense, and she wanted to kind of take that lesson she learned and the inspiration of Green Arrow to become a detective to try and help people and everything. So I thought that was really fascinating. And then the fact that she kept it all this time and gives it back to him and is like, hey, you've helped me out, this little girl, this is yours, it belongs to you, take it back, somebody else might need it too. And that was beautiful. That was a genuinely really beautiful like conversation between these two, and the goodness that Green Arrow has done and the way he impacted this woman's life to kind of inspire her to become a hero and just move in towards this direction, and the good that he's been doing all this time as this, you know, this superhero, this vigilante, whatever you want to call it. But again, that captured Green Arrow so well, and the fact that he was like the street level stuff. He's not just doing all the Cosmic Justice League stuff. He was like the everyday kind of people, like the way he bonded with everyone, the way he can help people in certain instances, the way he can just help somebody, not necessarily like by punching bad guys, but just kind of talking and being the support that somebody needs. I thought it was a beautifully done comic book, and the Montos artwork is fantastic, and the revelation about like Lena here is just, it's not something I really like anticipated to get in this issue. Now, granted, the stuff with Crimson Archer where I thought Roy may have shot and killed a guy, they kind of just pushed that aside a little bit too, like, he may or may not be dead, who cares, we couldn't find a body or whatever, so he's most likely alive and out there. But I thought they were going to kind of explore more of that. I mean, there's nobody else in this issue. It's just Ollie and the detective, but I guess everything there is just kind of okay, so we'll just assume that. But again, this book had to end at a certain point, and at least we got kind of this wrap-up issue where you could kind of just jump into this thing if you wanted to as a nice standalone thing, but given the context of what we've seen before between him and this detective, cop that they've been like kind of working together for a while since the start of the Chris Condon run. The revelation at the end of it is a really great one. Like I don't know if that was always going to be the case, but just to kind of take that and just reveal that about her character and her connection to Ollie is really excellent stuff. I mean, this book just did such a great job of capturing like Green Arrow to a T. The storylines, and we only had like 2 arcs is the thing. I know it just feels like, but they just accomplished so much in those 2 arcs that the fact that it's ending so soon just makes me really upset, because like I said, I think I mentioned earlier, like Green Arrow has been the book I've been enjoying the most at DC this past year. I know we got the big events and all that stuff too, and I love what, Philip Kennedy Johnson was doing Batman and Robin, but I think what Chris Condon was doing on Green Arrow was probably just the strongest stuff I had seen from DC this whole year. And yes, that goes above the absolute titles and all that other stuff. This is the Green Arrow stuff I like. The street level, working with the everyday people, and just that connection that he has. Like, it's fun to do the big team ups and the cosmic stuff, but at the end of the day, the more personal a story gets, the better, in my personal opinion. So, but sometimes, like I said, I like those big event things too. It's a balancing act. Sometimes we need those, and sometimes we need stuff like this, where it's just the everyday moments of heroism to inspire others. And I thought that was a great revelation, and I thought this thing captured Oliver Queen very well, and it's sad that it has to end. I really hope Chris Condon gets something else at DC. I will be on the lookout, because I really thought what he did with Green Arrow was really freaking good, and it bums me out that this title is now over, and now I don't have any Green Arrow stuff. God, it's like we get really good Green Arrow stuff, and then just shits the bed or whatever. Like, nobody buys it, and it makes me sad. This should be like way higher up in the people's poll list, at least in my opinion. But anyways, that's all I have to say about this issue. What did you think of this issue? What did you think of this run as a whole? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit that bell for notifications, all the other fun stuff. Come back later on tonight as Jaws week is continuing. Got 2 more videos left in that. I'm slowly catching up on some of the comic book stuff. I had this one, and then I got a bunch more between now and Tuesday that I got to catch up on, or even into Wednesday and that. So I will be caught up by the end of the year with all the DC books. That is a promise. I have to get this all done. I'm going to. We're going to get this all done. I'm ready. So, but anyways, thanks so much for watching. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.